Hey everyone, Lotus Prince here, and it is time for a reveal and a status update. Several status updates, as a matter of fact. But first, let's cut right to the chase. I, at this point, have a lot to do. I have a crossover that I filmed freaking 6 months ago. I'm a disgrace, I know. 5 months ago, but like, where the hell have I been on that one? I know it's embarrassing. There's the matter of 2 Let's Plays that I fully recorded, and one of them is kind of where I'm going next. I'll get to that. As well as the Resident Evil 2 video that I'm currently working on, step by painful step. It's not a Let's Play, it's not a review so much, it's more of an informational video, but that's not a Let's Play, so that requires actual editing, and man, I'm just not used to that. That's partly why I haven't gotten on to the crossover video either. I'm just not used to editing, and so I'm kind of digging my own grave by just not doing anything. So with the Resident Evil 2 video, though, I've at least started working on that one. I'm a few minutes into it, and a few minutes doesn't sound like much, but those videos take a long time. And I'm not quite sure how long the final product is going to be, but I recorded like an hour and 20 minutes worth of video. That includes lots and lots of retakes, so it's not going to be that long by a long shot, but it's going to be up there for a video that I don't normally make, so that'll be a trip. I really do want to push that one out, though, because I have very high hopes for it. Resident Evil 2 is not done yet. With this one, though, it just about will be. As for what I'm actually Let's Playing next, I've gotten a lot of requests to do Resident Evil 3, and that makes sense. I'm doing Resident Evil games. And yeah, Resident Evil 3 is going to be the next Resident Evil game that I Let's Play, not Code Veronica. I showed the demo disc for Veronica because it came with a copy of Resident Evil 2, which was the last Resident Evil game I played, so hey, I have the disc, I'll show it off. But Code Veronica is going to come later in the series, and so I shall get to it later. Resident Evil 3 will be the next Resident Evil game, but there is one game that I want to do before Resident Evil 3, and that's going to be... Well, first of all, here's a copy of Resident Evil 3 for the PlayStation 1. It's what comes with this that I'm interested in. Crack it open, boom, Resident Evil 3. But wait, what's this? It opens twice. We have a copy of a trial disc, or this one actually says, yeah, demo disc, for the original Dino Crisis. Yeah, Dino Crisis is quite a fun game, actually. It takes me a little bit of getting used to, and unfortunately my subsequent playthroughs, where I'm unlocking stuff, are played a little better than my initial one, where I don't know what to do just yet, but it is a fun game. I make it through like a boss, but there's this trial disc. I want to give you a taste of what is to come before jumping into the full product, and I actually really like the way this trial disc is handled. It's quite interesting. It goes about being a demo in a different way than I'm accustomed to, and in a good way. So look out for the demo disc for Dino Crisis 3. In 2 or 3 days, it's going to be up there. Now, as for general status updates, first of all, this weekend coming up is Too Many Games, which takes place in Oaks, Pennsylvania. I am going to be there just on the Saturday afternoon, just kind of hanging out. It's a pretty fun con, but my main draw, personally, is going to be for the dealer's room, because the con is like, it has panels, but it's like one gigantic dealer's room, and it's just like, oh man, can't pass that up. So I'm going to be there on the Saturday, chilling out, having some fun, so if you are in the area, then perhaps I shall see you there. And one other thing. How about that E3, huh? Oh man, usually I do not get invested in E3 because I tend to be a console generation behind. I don't usually get consoles for quite some time after they come out. I got a PS2 and a PS3 each, 6 to 7 years after they came out. I know that's a ludicrously long time, like, how could I not do it sooner? My main thing is I don't want to buy a console when it's at its most expensive. Freaking $599 US. Are you kidding me? With the highest possibility of bugs, I'm looking at you, Xbox 360, and with no games, I still don't understand, unless the launch title is insane, I still don't understand why people are like, oh my god, the console came out today, I'm gonna buy it, when it has one goddamn game. Like, I know they release more than one game literally, but they're not all going to be games you like. You're going to have maybe one, maybe two games you actually care about. You're going to pay freaking $500 plus 60 per game for this? Really? Like, I can't get behind that. I know you want to get on the game first, but, like, you gotta want that. And I don't. And even if I do, I'm not spending that much money on it. So I wait. Longer than I need to, I know. But I wait. So usually E3s for me are advertising games that I'm not going to be playing for years. So I don't really tend to tune into E3 until after the fact in case anything amusing happens, because that's always kind of fun to watch. Or maybe there's a game that I care about just because that I'm just kind of interested in. So I'll look into what that thing is, but I'm not going to sit there through the whole Sony press conference or the whole Microsoft or whomever. It's just whatever. Are there games I care about? Please, let me know. Thanks. But this E3 was something of an exception. No, I still didn't watch any of it as it happened, but the announcements really, really got me excited. There were lots of cool announcements this time. I'll start with the simple stuff. Fatal Frame 5, it's already been confirmed for the States. I knew that already, but now fall, so it'll be here sometime soon, I guess. So that pleases me. Probably what pleases me the most, and I can't guarantee this, but I assume this, is based on the brief gameplay footage I saw. It looks like, as was the case with the older Fatal Frame games, you are still able to see the ghosts that you're fighting on the TV screen, because that was my biggest fear. I thought that they were really going to push the Wii Pad because it's your camera. And yes, you're using it as a camera anyway, but I was afraid that the TV monitor wouldn't show the fight. Like, it would be like Zombie U style, where you're checking your inventory, and the Wii Pad shows the inventory, but the TV screen just shows your character rifling through a bag, through stuff you can't see. So I was really hoping that the TV would not obscure the ghost during the fight, because you know in old Fatal Frame games, if you're not using your camera, then ghosts just look like blurs or whatever, and you can't tell what's going on. I was afraid it would be that, but it might not be. We might be good, and that would be all kinds of a relief. I would love that. So that greatly, greatly pleases me. As for other E3 announcements, I should probably obligatorily mention Fallout 4. I have never played a Fallout game in my life, so I'm not personally invested in it at all, but hey, cool that they're making another Fallout game. Fallout people are going to love that. Fallout 4 looks like it improves upon the original, has more color and stuff to do. That's cool on principle, really. Like, I'm happy for the Fallout fans. Same goes for, believe it or not, same goes for Final Fantasy VII. I never really cared about Final Fantasy VII. I kind of missed it. I was an N64 kid, not a Sony PlayStation 1 kid, so by the time I saw FF7, it just looked really dated to me, and it looked like a good game, but part of it was kind of like the snakes on a plane phenomenon. The internet, the entire planet, would not shut the hell up about how best game ever, best game ever, and I'm just like, oh my god, all of you, shut up. So, like, I was kind of biased against it from the beginning, so I never really played it. But, at the same time, people have been begging for a Final Fantasy VII remake forever. And it's one of those things where you know it's never going to happen, but wouldn't it be nice if? But they're actually doing it. So that's actually really cool. That's really cool on principle, especially because it'll introduce the new generation of gamers to a game that they really don't know. Everyone says it's one of the best Final Fantasy games in the series, so now the younger generation could potentially find out why. So that's actually really awesome. Getting toward a game I care a little bit more about, kind of? I'm a little ambivalent about this one. Doom 4. Oh man, I love me some Doom. I love me some Doom. I still have my shareware floppy disks for the original Doom, Knee Deep in the Dead, from, like, my dad got it from, like, a CVS or something. Just picks it up, takes it, it's a shareware. But, Doom 4. I know the aesthetic is going to look like Doom 3, which, by the way, is a gorgeous aesthetic. Doom 3 still looks good today, but it didn't really play like a Doom game. It was a good game, but not a great Doom game. Doom 4 looks like it's going more back to how Doom should play, where you're running and gunning. I'm very happy about that. But I have kind of two problems with the game. Number one, the color aesthetic. Not the graphics, the color. everything's brown and gray, and that is boring. That is boring. Now, yeah, I know that the old Doom had lots of browns, lots of grays, and you know what else it had? The other colors. Old Doom had lots of colors. Some levels were more deserty, or like, you're on Mars, it's gonna be brown and gray. Yeah, okay, but it also had colors. There were colors. Level 1, surprisingly colorful. There were computer monitors being all blippy and bloopy, like blues and greens and everything. There were colors, and enemies had colors too. So, I really hope they change that, because I don't want to just be looking at a brown screen the entire time, like the first 2 Gears of War games. The other thing I kind of have a problem with is the brutal kills. Not because of the violence. You've seen the kinds of games I play. I play freaking Silent Hill Homecoming and Dead Space 2. You've seen that I am generally cool with violence, but my problem is that this kind of gets in the way of the Doom experience. You know, they have those clips where you get those brutal finishers, where the enemy's stunned or whatever, and you do the super kill with your chainsaw, and they're like, ah, no! And you're getting the chainsaw down, and it's some, like, nasty kill. Here's my problem. That interrupts what the hell I'm doing. There's like an army of monsters trying to shoot me in the face. Let me shoot one of them in the face and keep moving so I don't get shot in the face. I'm not looking for a freaking super finisher. Like, this isn't God of War. This isn't Manhunt rewarding me with my sweet stealth kill with a cool little scene. It's freaking Doom. Run, shoot, keep running, run while shooting. Like, so the brutal finishers are just like, I promise you, after the first 2 times I do the same kind of brutal finisher, I'm gonna do one and be like, Doom, like, I'm playing a Doom game, can I play a Doom game? Like, that kind of just bugs me. I know they're going more with a camp factor with the over, you know, the ultra-violence, but, like, could you not slow me down, please? There are games that can do that, and I will love it. Doom is not one of them. And one other, well, 2 other things. I didn't really hear, like, I don't know what the in-game music is like, so I can't really comment on it, but please bring back the crazy awesome music from classic Doom, because Doom 3, when you turn the game on and you're on the main menu, it has that, like, thrashing guitar, and you're like, yes, here we go. And then the game kind of never follows up. It's all moody and atmospheric, and, I mean, it's a good mood, it's a good atmosphere, but I kind of wanted to play a Doom game, so could we have ridiculous guitar? And it doesn't always have to be thrashing guitar. I mean, I know I'm thinking of Level 1's theme, there were some slower themes too, but the point is, music was a really big thing in the old Doom games. Levels had their own personalities because of their music. So please bring that back, I would very much appreciate it. And one other thing, this kind of bugs me on principle. From what I've gathered, maybe I'm wrong, but from what I've gathered, it looks like Doom 4 is a reboot of Doom 3, which was a reboot of Doom 1. Could we get off of goddamn Mars base, please? Please? Like, I don't need to play Doom 1 a 3rd time. What I would love, is if we could do Doom 2 Hell on Earth. What's the sequel to Doom? Doom 2? Could we do Doom 2, please? I would love to be able to walk through a city block or a neighborhood that's been just totally overtaken by the forces of hell, and just enter a house or an office building, and there's just imps, and you're taking them out. That would be the best. Because, like, the space station, that was great, and you know what? I already did that. It was fun. It was. I did it already. Could we not do the same game again, please? I know, again, I don't know if Doom 4 really is the same game, but just, please do not be. I played it already. I know you're doing, like, oh, maybe here's what Doom 3 should have been, but, like, move on, please. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Also, I saw that big original-looking demon at the end. That was pretty cool. I'm happy with original demons. But you know what I would also like? Because Doom 3 had the big finale with the Cyber Demon. I did not like it all, the way that boss battle was handled, but the Cyber Demon itself was glorious to behold. That was a trip. So you know what I would love to see now? Arachnotron's Spider Mastermind. That would make me so happy, because they weren't in Doom 3. They had the Trites and that... I forgot... The Vagary. They had the Vagary. That was in the expansion, Resurrection of Evil. Ooh, faux pas. Or not faux pas, Freudian slip. I wonder if that's a Freudian slip twice. But they had the Vagary and the Trites. So there's your Spider fix. But I would still love to see the Arachnotrons. Those were super cool, especially the Arachnotron's death sounds. You kind of just... I don't know, like, you can't get that sound anywhere else. It was just so satisfying to take those things out. It was so satisfying. So yeah, Doom 4. Basically, please be good, is what I'm saying. Now, as for the two things that I am really, actually, highly invested in, number one, The Last Guardian. I would have bet you money that they were not bringing that one back. I thought it just kind of trickled out and died. Because when The Last Guardian was first announced, it was 2007, so the PS3 had been out for what, like a year, maybe? So Shadow of the Colossus was still kind of very much in our minds, and then Last Guardian. Whoa! Next-gen Team Ico stuff? Oh my god! Imagine what that looks like in HD. That'd be crazy. And then it just died. Like, you literally, there was a teaser, and then nothing. For 8 years. So, all of a sudden now, PS4, like, oh my god. So I'm really happy to see The Last Guardian. And I know a lot of people, especially ones who didn't know the older games, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, might not be into it. They're like, oh man, you're running around and you're doing puzzles with a friend or whatever. I love Ico, I love Shadow of the Colossus. I'm in it to win it. I want this game. I want to see what they can do with this superior technology. I'm hyped. But what hypes me even more, oh boy, freaking Shenmue 3. I cannot believe it, because I think they actually dropped the copyright of the title or whatever, or the trademark. I think they actually dropped it like 1 or 2 years ago, and everyone was kind of, yeah, I know they're not making a Shenmue 3, but when they dropped the trademark, that was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Like, okay, confirmed to not make Shenmue 3. Because here's the thing. Shenmue 1 was a cool game, but the story is clearly not over. Then Shenmue 2 came out, and admittedly, I have not played Shenmue 2. The only thing I know about Shenmue 2, well, apparently you can alter time by, like, meditating, like, Shujinko style, and just, like, letting time go by, which is great. So you don't have to wait for stuff, but the only other thing I know about Shenmue 2 is that it apparently ends on a cliffhanger. This game was made in 2001. Like, I have worked with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Some of these kids that I've worked with weren't alive when Shenmue came out, when Shenmue 2 came out. And, like, people have been waiting for 14 years. And that's not even technically true. They've given up on waiting. They're kind of like, okay, no Shenmue 3. Suddenly, Kickstarter made, like $1.5 million or $2 million on, like, day one. I had to reload the Kickstarter page. Like, I had to refresh the page to back it, to donate. It wouldn't take it the first time. I was getting, like, an error, 503, and, like, the donation counter wasn't updating properly for, like, 10 minutes, even after I donated. It kept saying I wasn't logged in. Like, people broke Kickstarter to help out Shenmue 3. I was so happy. I was so happy. It's actually going to happen. Maybe Ryo will finally get revenge on Lon D. I've been waiting for this forever, and again, I haven't even played Shenmue 2, because part of me was like, well, I could, but then I'm going to beat the game, and then nothing is going to come of it, and I'll be sad. Not anymore. And so, what puts me even more in the mood is, this happened well before the announcement for the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, of course, but, I was at Vice's a while back, and part of, like, he just gave it to me, because he got it off the internet, is, Shenmue Undubbed. And there's a reason for this. America received Shenmue for the Dreamcast, that's the only system it was on, but Shenmue 2 was released for the Dreamcast and for the original Xbox, but America did not get the Dreamcast version. It only got the Xbox version. So, it is true that you could import Shenmue 2, and I actually do have a copy of Shenmue 2 for the Dreamcast, but a slight problem is that while memory cards of video game systems can read foreign data, that doesn't mean that the data is compatible with each other. The thing is, and Americans wouldn't even know this unless they imported the Dreamcast version, but Shenmue 2 actually has a feature where you can read Shenmue 1's memory card data and you can carry some of the special moves, like the fighting moves you learned in the first game, over to the second game. Sometimes games do this, like in RPGs like Xenosaga. What's that? You have Xenosaga 1 data on your memory card? Here, have some free experience points for Xenosaga 2. So Shenmue 2 does the same thing. But again, you can't transfer from Dreamcast to Xbox, so America just kind of didn't get that feature. Now, I have save data on Shenmue 1, but the Dreamcast's UK Shenmue 2, it's not going to read my American data and put it forth to a British game. So what's great about Shenmue Undub, and this is something you can download from the internet and burn onto a disc, burn it so well in fact that you don't even need a freeloader to play it, is that it basically has the PAL game where everything's voiced in Japanese and subtitles, but it's basically the PAL game that you can play in an American Dreamcast. Now, you might be able to do this on other, on foreign consoles too. I wouldn't know. I don't have a European Dreamcast, but at least I can play basically British Shenmue 1, so I can transfer its data to Shenmue 2, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to want to do that to set myself up for Shenmue 3. I cannot freaking believe this game is coming out. By the way, if you care about Shenmue at all, please donate to the Kickstarter, because it's actually happening. They've already met their goal. They met their goal after, like, no time at all, but these stretch goals, they've already gotten their stretch goals where they'll subtitle the game in different languages, but now there's real in-game stuff that can affect the gameplay, like a rapport system, and things like that. So donate for the stretch goals to get basically the Shenmue 3 complete experience. That would be wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So, there's one more thing. One last thing that I want to show you. Take a look at this. Okay, back on the ledge. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Ah, the hell with this. I'll carry the camera. Here. That is what I'm talking about. I finally went out and bought a Super Nintendo. So that opens up a whole new library of possibilities. Honestly, not too many of the games I have at this point are really Let's Playable. Like, I have Super Mario RPG, Zelda Link to the Past. I could do that, but that's a long game. Point is, though, got a Super Nintendo, freaking awesome. I am hyped. So, long story short, E3 was awesome, got an SNES, sorry for the delays in uploading, I keep saying this because I'm a freaking slacker, working on Resident Evil 2 video, and then Dino Crisis demo is coming in 2 or 3 days, look out for it then, and then the full Dino Crisis game will come at some point after that once I've edited everything down. So, thank you so much for, oh, and I'm going to Too Many Games on Saturday. So, thank you once again for tolerating my more rambly update than I thought it would be. Until next time, everyone.